to the first edition of the weekly episodic show on YouTube, hosted by me, Jason Miller, the Sports Entertainment Show. Now, I'm not going to talk about TNA. No, I'm not, because TNA is just run poorly and storyline, they're wasting so much talent that's over there. I'm just going to talk about WWE. And actually, I mean, for the most part, it's just going to be Raw and pay-per-views, because really SmackDown is just a rehash of Raw. I mean, now don't get me wrong, there are some great wrestling matches on SmackDown. I think it's more of a wrestling show, but for the most part, you can actually skip SmackDown and storyline, you wouldn't miss anything. I think WWE's dropping the ball on that. Now, here's the situation. I've been a wrestling fan for 28 years, okay? I can tell you anything you want to know. I'm a wrestling historian. I know all kinds of stuff, okay? So I want to talk about it now because I want to start this show because I'm excited. Every week I want 5 minutes to talk about this. Now this particular episode is probably going to be a little bit longer, but I'm passionate about it. I believe if I was the head writer for this, I could make it so much better. I really could. There's a lot of good things. There's a lot of bad things. So first off, let's talk about some of the good things. Right now, the hottest feud in WWE is the Shield. I mean, obviously the breakup, and to be honest with you, I wasn't for the breakup when it happened. I was very disappointed because I thought there was a lot of money to be had in the future of the Shield, but unfortunately, they decided to break it up. I mean, after watching it, I think they actually did the right thing. I'm still concerned because I do not think Roman Reigns has the mic skills to be the main event guy that they think he's going to be. I think he was definitely, in the group, he was okay because he could spit out a line or two and be all right. But now he's on his own, and I think you're gonna see his weakness, which definitely is his mic skills. The good news about this is that Dean Ambrose finally gets to shine, because I think when he was in the Shield, he was sort of held back. And if you've seen any of his indie promos from a couple of years ago, this guy is so legit, it's not even funny. I mean, in the ring, he's kind of average. I'm sure that will get better, but the actual promo skills of this guy, off the charts. So I'm very, very excited about that. Rollins, on the other hand, sort of the opposite of Ambrose. He's amazing in the ring, but his promos are going to be a little bit iffy. But I think this feud right now, I mean, the crowd pops huge when they see Ambrose, and I'm very excited about the Shield. So that is something that the WWE did right, bringing in young kids and let them shine. Now the problem is that you see they've screwed it up in other factions. I mean, look how they messed up Nexus. I mean, there was so much promise in Nexus, and they really messed that up. So I think they learned from that, went to the Shield, and definitely made some better moves, if you will. Another thing that's exciting me right now, they had a couple of surprise returns, and they did that well too. Jericho out of nowhere, and I like the idea that they put him right into a promo with the Wyatt family. I hope they have more explanation as to why the Wyatts would kind of come after Jericho, because I hope they just don't throw it together. But I can see a lot of promise there. It should be spectacular. And I also like the tease of bringing The Miz out as if The Miz was actually somebody anyone cared about, as being the former champion that rolls up in the limo, and then Jericho come out, and then the crowd popped huge. That was well done. The AJ Lee return was a big surprise. I mean, the problem that I have is the way they're handling the Divas division. There's so much talent down in NXT, and they just gotta give them storylines. They just have to give them storylines. It's that simple, and they just don't do it. And that's why nobody cares. I mean, you can hear a pin drop every time there is a Divas match. And definitely AJ Lee's on another level. I mean, she's definitely head and shoulders above the rest as far as popularity goes. But when she had her 3-month vacation, they should have done something. They didn't do anything. I mean, they just handed the belt to Paige. And poor Paige was great down in NXT, but they never gave her a character. They never let her say anything. Why? Why not? If you're going to give a character, let her make that character. You know what I'm saying? They didn't do it. They just give her 1 or 2 lines here and there, and just, they're dropping the ball. And honestly, here's something else the Divas need. The Divas need a big, ass-kicking somebody, okay? I mean, seriously, I know Karma had her issues or whatever, and I'm sure she'll never come back, but they need another Karma. You can't tell me they can't find somebody like that on the indie scene somewhere. Someone just can come in and just tear down the house, because that's what people got excited about. Remember when she was in Royal Rumble? I don't know if I've ever heard a diva get that kind of cheers. WWE thinks it's all about what they look like. The smart fans aren't like that. I mean, I know it's 50-50, You've got the snarky fans like me, and then you've got the kids, and that's why they have the immature humor and all that stuff. But there's a lot of people out there like me that would really like to see quality wrestling, and they could definitely do it if they just handled the Diva division better. Let's talk about some other guys that they're wasting talent on. Okay, now Ziggler got his push, but nobody sells like Ziggler. I mean, when Ziggler gets hit, it looks like he got hit by a Mack truck, and I think that almost hurts him. I think that's why they hold him back, because they want to feed him to people to make them look good. But that guy is legit. I mean, you can see some of the stuff online and the promos that he has the ability to have. He's definitely he's an echelon lower than what he should be. He should be pushed up higher. Now, these next two guys really, really bother me. Kofi Kingston steals the show in every kind of specialty match. And I know he doesn't have the great personality, but kids love him and they could do so much more with him. You cannot tell me. I mean, the physical attributes that he has, there should be more of a program for him, and they never really try. Remember a couple years ago when he beat Randy Orton in the big surprise, and he got a little intense, and it was a good, like, 2 or 3 week promo, or program, if you will. You might not remember it, but that was a taste of what they could do with him. And then, of course, he just got swept under the rug and became a jobber, and that's not okay. That guy's better than that. But actually, the one that actually makes me more angry than the other guys, Damien Sandow. What happened to Damien Sandow? This guy, I mean, he has the crowd listening to every word he has because he's freaking hilarious, and then they turn him into like a Santino Marella joke, and that's not what he is. He was much better than that. Do you guys remember the when he cashed in the Money in the Bank against Cena? That was an amazing match. That was one of the 3 best matches, I think, in the last couple of years. And speaking of that, I know there's a lot of negative Cena people. Okay, everybody's saying, okay, we need a CHT, we need a Cena heel turn. Well, I'm not saying that I'm against that, because obviously his character is stale. But there's all kinds of reasons why you can't do that. I mean, the marketing money that he brings in for the kids, and the Make-A-Wish stuff that he does. The kids have to like him. But there's a couple things that's interesting about that. People are like, the 5 moves of doom. We don't like John Cena because his matches are so boring. Well, here's the deal with him. I'm looking over some of the best matches over the last couple of years, and Cena's been involved in all of them. The one with CM Punk, the one with Damien Sandow. I mean, that had everybody on the edge of their seats. I mean, I thought Sandow had a chance of winning that match. And my personal favorite was the one with Brock Lesnar. I mean, they just acted like they did not genuinely like each other. Maybe they don't. But, I mean, Lesnar just does not give about anything. And I think that's what made that match so good. I mean, I didn't have high expectations going into it. I'm very excited that I think that's where the program's going right now. I think that it's going to be a SummerSlam, and it's going to be Cena, and it's going to be Lesnar again. And I know that a lot of people were upset that Cena won the Money in the Bank, but if you look at the actual roster and the other guys that were in there, you have a lot of guys who just aren't ready, and it's just a transitional champion. I mean, they're smart enough to know that Daniel Bryan is their guy, but they can't let him be their guy yet because he's injured. So what do? You give the belt to someone because you're not exactly sure when Daniel Bryan's going to come back. So I think they made the right choice as to having Cena win that match. I mean, that was a great pay-per-view Sunday night. It really was. Now, as far as this, well, it's not this Sunday, but the following, the upcoming pay-per-view where they have already talked about the main event for this, okay? And this is where WWE just completely baffles me. You got Roman Reigns in this fatal 4-way with Orton and Kane and Cena. Well, why in the world would the Authority give Roman Reigns a chance at this belt? It makes 0 sense. Why would you have him there? And they should explain that in some way, shape, or form. Because really, why wouldn't Triple H just have, I don't know, Rusev or something? I don't know, somebody that would be somebody that he would like. You know what I mean? I mean, why would he give Roman Reigns a chance at anything? It makes 0 sense. And here's something else that people aren't talking about. Why in the world, when Kane is obviously an Authority henchman, he doesn't care about the belt anyway? Why wouldn't he just lay down in the middle of the ring and let Kane pin him? Or let Randy Orton pin him? And here, Randy Orton, here's your belt. Now, obviously, there's 2 other guys who wouldn't let that happen, and I'm sure, but that is something that seems pretty obvious to me. I mean, is Kane really going to show up for this and fight? I don't know. But whatever the case is, there should be a little bit more explanation into that, and maybe they will. There's still 3 weeks left, but you know, I hope you liked the first episode of my show. I have all kinds of stuff I want to talk about, but I want to keep these episodes as short as possible. If you want, you can go down to the comment section, and I'll give you some answers to these questions. I mean, I consider myself an expert because I'm passionate about it, and I've watched it for years, and I'm one of the smart guys. I'm not one of the ones who are just going to judge on, you know, who looks the prettiest or who has the biggest muscles. I want good shows in the ring. I want drama. I want characters, and I want them acted well. That's what I want. So I hope you enjoyed it. Have fun, and see you later. Bye.